I will never understand somebody getting mad at a wrestler they don't like. Do you watch TV dramas and then go online to eviscerate a character just because they ain't your cup of tea? You probably do, and that is weird too. The beauty of wrestling is you can pretty much do whatever you want, but no, unless we conform to a very specific niche, shut up. Still, I am signed for What Culture. Please remember to work hard in school and subscribe. And this is 10 wrestlers that pissed off the fans. Number 10, Danhausen. Danhausen is awesome. You don't have to like him, that's not what I'm saying. But the dude is so weird in the best possible way as he walks around the joint cursing people. It is much better to be friends with Danhausen. When he did get signed to AEW, even though this should have been a moment of celebration, some individuals lost it because here was a wrestler who was happy to have some fun. I mean, talk about unbelievable. They went on that the persona was just too unrealistic, as if an Irish whip is the most sensible thing on the planet, and it doesn't even matter. This dude is crazy over, sells a ton of merchandise, and is entertaining. That means he has done something right. There is no rules here. It's not like AEW doesn't have a bunch of serious guys and girls either. There's loads, and making sure you have that balance is important. I know a lot of my casual friends are far more intrigued by Danhausen than anybody else on the roster because they're fascinated by him. So that is another tick. Love that Danhausen. Number 9, Adam Cole. So this one is a doozy. As the crazy rhetoric goes, Adam Cole has made a huge mistake by leaving NXT for AEW because before long he was put in a feud with Orange Cassidy. I mean, somebody give me strength. It boiled over when the piece of fruit defeated Cole in an unsanctioned match, even though we should have been very impressed that an orange beat a human, and ever since it's just been ridiculous. I stay well out of it. While Cole would have continued to have smashed it in NXT, of course, ever since he joined All Elite Wrestling, he has been presented as a top guy and had a world title shot against Hangman Adam Page. Every single performance has been a banger too, and he comes across like a star. He also seems very happy, which is all that actually matters. It's almost as if we've forgotten that the good guy is meant to win in the end, but I suppose that ties into other issues, or number 8, Orange Cassidy. I mean, we did a video about this at the time, and while my prediction of Orange Cassidy winning the AEW World title by the end of 2022 probably won't hit, the man has been a huge success. Much like Danhausen though, as soon as Cassidy signed with AEW, there was a meltdown. How could the guy who did weak kicks and put his hands in his pockets be featured on such a big stage? Just forgot that he was another super popular dude. Apparently everyone just needs to have a growl on their face 100% of the time. Don't you even dare think about enjoying yourself. These people are never going to change their minds, but I think Orange by this point has more than proven his worth. The evolution of his character as he has become more and more motivated has been nice to see, and he has proved time and time again he's a very good wrestler. The guy can go. AEW has also ensured that when he does do this silly offense, everybody sells it as such, so what's the problem? You ever heard of mind games? Apparently not. When you break it right down too, as long as the crowd goes wild for the babyface during a comeback, you've ticked the most important box. Not sure I've ever not seen this happen to Cassidy, therefore he is great. Number 7, Ronda Rousey. What a powder keg this was. As we built to the main event of WrestleMania 35, Ronda Rousey decided to hit the angry button when she took the approach that she was a real fighter, whereas Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair were nothing but a pair of fakes. Cue the breakdown. Ronda also called Lynch by her real name and promised to beat the hell out of her on Raw, and by the time she started going directly after the fans, forget about it, this relationship went sour. Now, it did make Rousey a pretty good heel, and while this was based in reality, isn't that where the best stories lie? It was long said Ronda was legitimately annoyed with the audience after they turned on her in her hometown, and I get it. Charlotte was destroying her with a kendo stick as everybody cheered. But this is why wrestling rules. You never know what the fans are going to do, so you should just embrace it. It doesn't sound like Rousey did that, which explains the disconnect, but hey, she feels like a star, mostly because she is a star. Makes all the sense in the world why WWE ensured they went and brought her back. Number 6, Sammy Guevara. I don't even want to spend much time on this because somebody's personal life should remain their personal life. It honestly is none of our business. But the internet decided they knew the truth when it came to Sammy Guevara and his love life, and bullied Ty Conte so much, she temporarily deleted her Twitter account. Just for the record, if somebody feels the need to do that, we have gone too far. Don't harass people. It seems like they are a couple now, and I'm sure other individuals may have been hurt by this, but that's just what happens. We've all been through similar stuff, and what you don't need is a massive pile-on. Just have some flipping respect. Number 5, Cody Rhodes. I met Cody Rhodes a couple of times during his run on the Indies, and he could not have been nicer or more respectful. There's also a ton of interviews with other folk out there where they say exactly the same thing. Cody is a good dude. When he started having fun with his character in AEW though, a portion of the fan base decided they knew more than anybody else, and they just went after him. And sure, not every single angle was a home run and there were certain promos that didn't hit, but nothing he did deserved the angry vitriol he got from some circles. The reaction was absurd. To this day, you still hear people raging that he got his own entrance tunnel, but I tell you, if I helped start a wrestling promotion and had the opportunity to secure myself an over-the-top arrival, I am doing it. I mean, that's the best thing about the whole industry. What we really should be focused on is that Cody went out of his way to lose to a bunch of up-and-comers to ensure they were able to take the next steps. That's all you really need to know. All the rest is just entertaining pro wrestling nonsense. Number 4, Sting. I mean, come on. Seriously, who doesn't like Sting? Find me, because we're gonna have words. When he teamed up with Darby Allin in 2021 though, the icon was thrown through a table. It was a crazy bump because the man is in his 60s, which is why when he popped up to his feet instantly as if this was barely a scratch, I went nuts. It was so damn cool and fit the character perfectly. For some out there though, this no-sell spot was an insult to the business, and we should all boycott AEW forever. No human being could be held through some wood and not be hurt, but that's the whole point. It's Sting. He's not like us, he's more. He cares not for this pain. As ever, it got a massive reaction, so who cares, and I will take this idea being hurled into my face forever. Once again, if you can do it, every now and then you most definitely should, otherwise the creative nature of wrestling is a waste. It also makes sense with Sting because we do need smoke and mirrors given his age, and I am prepared to die on this hill. He should do it in every match. It makes me happy every time. Number 3, Bobby Fish. We really should be kinder to our ocean friends. There's a lot of fish in the world, and if we don't treat them right, they will attack and then we'll all be dead. Remember that. Bobby Fish just so happens to be a tremendous wrestler though, and a man who has embraced his role of badass worker who is happy to lose. Hence why he was there to be beaten by CM Punk and Jungle Boy and Bryan Danielson. For about 6 weeks he was all over the TV, but every time it was to assist somebody else, because that's what the man does. He rocks. This infuriated the Twitter eggs, however, because apparently 1, Tony Khan should never have signed him, and 2, why was he being featured so much? Well, I just told you, and given the fallout, I think it was the correct call. Some idiots have also criticized his age, which is frankly stupid. You're meant to have more respect for guys who have kept themselves in such good shape they can still go post 40. I swear, sometimes. Number 2, Eva Marie. I appreciate Eva Marie. While it's clear she was hired during a time WWE was scouting fitness models and turning them into wrestlers, she embraced her role, played the bad guy, and was able to wind up fans just by walking to the ring. Mission success. More recently, this hate came from the fact Eva dubbed Piper Niven DOUDROP as if that was her call, and in general, there was a group that thought she shouldn't have been allowed back through the WWE door to begin with. Can you imagine that? Hating on someone because they got a job. And sure, she was not a 5-star ring general, but if you're watching WWE exclusively for that, you've missed the point. Stories and characters have always taken precedence over that, and Marie fit in the mold. Given what she was asked to do, I always thought she did it pretty well. I mean, during her second run, she barely even took a bump, which once again was the point. It was meant to annoy you, but not to the extent you spent all your time online yelling. Just calm down, for goodness sake. Number 1, Nikki A.S.H. For a while, Nikki Cross was not being used. She would appear here and there, but felt a little bit lost in the shuffle, so what did she do? Went to Vince McMahon, pitched a character she thought would work, he loved it, and boom, she was back on TV. You shouldn't get pissed about that. You should go give her a round of applause. And sure, look, I get it, the gimmick was weird. She was almost a superhero, whatever that means. But for a while it was working, and more importantly, kids loved it, and don't forget that. 9 times out of 10, every single thing WWE does is for its younger audience. When the live crowds returned after the pandemic, however, and it was reported Nikki's reactions weren't all that, it flippin' happened again. Some folk lost it. I'm not entirely sure why, because it's not like they were there with a noise gun testing the entire field, but apparently this was enough to just go crazy. I mean, that's all I got. It did run its course quite fast, but I'd much rather this than doing the same thing over and over again. You try, you fail, and then you try again. You don't need to make out like it's the end of the world. Know of any other wrestlers that pissed off the fans? Make sure you let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share the video, and hit that subscribe button. It's free. Then you can go over to whatculture.com where you can read articles like this with your eyes. You can also give us a follow on social media, and you know we've got a YouTube channel. You're here right now. Why not go watch another video? My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you for joining me as always, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon. And I'm sure you're pissed at me right now, but that's fine, because soon we can do 10 more wrestlers that pissed off the fans, and I'm gonna sneak myself in there.